It's a research passage because it says study 1 and study 2. So for research, you're going to read, lightly read, not super carefully. Read the question first, then reread and go work the problem. According to the results of study 1, from 3 days after treatment through 9 days. So study 1, we're going from 3 to 9. The average number of seeds that had germinated per pot for group 4, so let's put our finger on group 4. Okay, what did they do? The average number goes 2.8 to 4, 4.6 to 4.8, so it increased only F. Based on the results of study 2, finger on study 2, how many of the groups had an average plant height greater than 1 meter? Okay, so we see this is actually in centimeters, so the average plant height is. So you need a little bit of knowledge here. There are 100 centimeters in a meter. Once we know that, we can see that none of them made it above 60 centimeters, so none of the plants made it to a meter. The answer is 0. A. The presence of more than one plant in a pot can negatively affect the growth of all the plants due to competition. What action was taken in study 2 to prevent competition among the plants? So what action was taken to ensure there was only one plant? You can hear my dog in the background. So study 2 says all but one seedling were removed from each of the pots that had multiple seeds. So that's 9 days after. Be careful on this one because choice H says after an initial growth period, all seeds were removed. Choice J says seedlings. So the answer would be J. If you're going quickly, this is towards the end of the test, you might accidentally choose H just by not reading carefully. So your answer is J. Consider the claim the average height of the plants in a group was affected by the number of days that the pots in the group were irrigated. Can this claim be evaluated on the basis of the results of study 2? So if we look at study 2, it tells us in the reading each pot was irrigated as in study 1 for an additional 75 days. They're all watered the same amount, same time. This is one of those questions you can eliminate choice B and D because it says the irrigation was different for each group and that is not the same. So we know B and D is not the correct answer. Now you just have to use reasoning and say, well, if we want to know if it makes a difference, we would have to water them on different days, and they didn't have different amounts of water. So the answer has to be C, no, because the irrigation was the same for all groups. Consider the treatment with species R. So let's find species R treatment. You'll see that in table 1, and species R is in group 3. Was more effective at promoting seed germination in soil with a higher than normal NaCl concentration than with a treatment of PMA. So PMA is group 4 for 5, 7, and 9 days. So the treatment days are in table 2. So this is really asking, if you want to put it in simpler words, are the average seeds germinated in group 3 greater than the average of group 4 for 5, 7, and 9 days? So there's group 3 and group 4. So let's compare each one. So day 5, 4.3 is greater than 4. Day 7, 5 is greater than 4.6. Day 9, 5 is greater than 4.8. So the answer would be yes, they were greater for group 3, so F. Let X represent the number of days after treatment until germination was first observed among the group 2 pots in study 1, so group 2 study 1. And so based on the results, X is given by which expression? So we don't see any growth until day 7, so we know it had to happen after day 5 because there's 0 at day 5 and 0.2 at 7. So less than or equal to 7, but greater than 5, choice C. Consider the statement, on average, plant height was greater for plants treated with H2O containing PMA and NaCl. So it's going to be in table 1, and that's going to be group 4, than it was for plants treated with either H2O containing NaCl or H2O containing species R. So that's 2 or 3. So it's group 4 bigger than group 2 or 3. So we go to the table. we see that in group 4, it is definitely smaller than group 3. So the answer has to be no. We just got to see which one gives us the correct answer. Group 4 was less than group 3, so your answer has to be J.